micropipette. If pipettes handle the 0.1 to 25 milliliter range, micropipettes handle everything smaller than that. So that's going to be volumes in the 1 to 1,000 microliter range. And in biotech, that microliter range is really where most of the action happens. So things like PCR reactions, dilutions, assays, almost anything that measures these tiny small volumes with high precision. And so getting this right matters enormously. So now let's talk about two different types of pipettes that we're going to see. And the two of the most common ones are going to be called a positive displacement and air displacement pipette. And we'll talk about what each of these mean. So in a positive displacement micropipette, the liquid you're measuring is going to come into direct contact with the plunger inside of the device. So this is your liquid here, and it's going to come into contact with that plunger. The tip and the plunger are both disposable, which make these pipettes more expensive to use. They're recommended more for viscous liquids, things like glycerol, or for volatile samples that would evaporate or leak with the use of a standard pipette. So I'll write over here in positive pipettes, the liquid contacts the plunger. You use this for viscous material. Things or like volatile samples. Air displacement pipettes are the ones that you'll use for almost everything else. In this design, there's a cushion of air between the plunger and the liquid, so right here, and so the sample only ever touches that disposable tip, never the pipette itself. So here's the disposable tip right here. And you swap out the tip between samples, which prevents contamination and protects the user. These are accurate for aqueous samples and are by far the most common micropipette in biotech labs. So I'll write over here, an air cushion separates the liquid from the plunger. And you want to use this for aqueous solutions. So now let's come over here and talk about how to read a micropipette. So we're going to say there's going to be 3 common micropipette ranges, and so they're going to be P20, P200, and P1000. So adjustable air displacement micropipettes come in different models. Each are going to cover a specific volume range, and the 3 that are going to be most common are going to be the P20, and these are going to range or handle volumes in the 2 to 20 microliter, the P200, which are going to handle volumes in the 20 to 200 microliters, and the P1000, which will handle volumes in somewhere between 100 and 1,000 microliters. It's really going to be the 1,000, the 200, and the 20. Those are that upper limit. And each of these models are going to have a display that will show the set volume. And the display is going to read differently depending on which pipette you're using. And this is really where students make common errors. So I'll give you a second to look at this image on the screen, and then we'll focus in on this P20 over here. On the P20, the display shows the value in microliters with 1 decimal place. On the P200, the numbers represent microliters without a decimal place, and the P1000, the top number, which is this number right up here, is going to represent the hundreds of microliters. So you always want to confirm which microliter that you're holding before you read the display, because the same number can mean something different on the model depending on which one you're using. So I'll write down here, always confirm the model. One important rule that comes directly from the manufacturer is that you never use a micropipette that's below 35% of its total range. So a P1000 should not be used to measure volumes below about 350 microliters. If you need a smaller volume, you switch to the smaller, more appropriate model. So now let's come down here and let's talk about how to use the pipette. And so in these different pictures here, let me just frame this on the screen. So let's walk through how you actually use one. This is called the forward mode pipetting, and it's the most standard method for using pipetting these aqueous samples. So the first thing you always want to do is you want to set your volume, and you do this by rotating the knobs at the top of the pipette. So let me just use my laser pointer. So you're going to rotate that to your desired volume. You never want to rotate beyond the upper or lower limit of the pipette's range, because that can damage the internal mechanism. And then you want to make sure that you attach your disposable tip. You press it firmly down into the shaft to create this airtight seal. A poorly fitted pipette tip is going to be one of the most common sources of pipetting error. So now, as we hold the pipette vertically, you want to make sure that it is vertical and you don't tilt it more than 20 degrees, because that would cause too much liquid to enter into your tip. And that would give you an inaccurate volume. So what you want to do is you're going to depress the plunger to the first stop, and you'll feel a distinct resistance point. And then you're going to place your pipette into the volume or into the liquid that you are going to measure. And then let it rise on its own. Don't let it snap up. So what you do is, if it snaps, the liquid can be pulled into the barrel of the pipette which contaminates the instrument and throws off your volume. So you wait about 1 or 2 seconds before removing the tip from the liquid to allow complete filling. And then you want to, when you go to put your liquid into the receiving container, you're going to depress the plunger all the way down to the second stop. So down here. And so that's going to be where you purge. So you want to remove the tip carefully with the plunger still fully depressed. So here you're bringing the liquid up, here you're bringing the liquid down, and then you remove the plunger you remove the pipette with the plunger fully depressed, and then you never want to lay a filled pipette on its side, and you never pipette without a tip attached. So let me write down some of these things. So we'll say here when you go to pipette, so the first stop is going to be where you aspirate. That's where you bring up the liquid. The second stop down here is going to be where you purge. You don't want to tilt, so no tilting. And you want to be just straight vertical. And then I'll write over here, never lay a filled pipette on its side. All right, and so that is how to use a micropipette. So we talked about the two different types. We talked about how to read a volume, and then we talked about how to use it. And those are really going to be the most important things about how to use a pipette.